Alright, so today we got the turbo Corolla back, and I have a few little things I want to add to the interior, which are going to be the steering wheel related stuff. So I bought one of these wiper stalks, I don't know, a few months ago, and I never put it on yet because I just haven't had time to do it. But this should be a plug and play. This has the intermittent wiper stalk versus the one that's in the car. Let me show you right now. The one that is in the car is just on, off, and then faster or whatever. This one comes with the intermittent function, so that way your wipers are a little bit more controlled. And the stock also doesn't look as cheap. So we're gonna throw this on today as well as a bunch of other interior stuff I have to trim up and put back because I was lazy and I never did. But right here I have new steering wheel controls. So these are carbon fiber steering wheel controls to go with the carbon fiber steering wheel. As of right now, I have the volume and next controls and stuff like that, but I do not have any functions on here. So this is just a normal Corolla S steering wheel. The XRS models came with the phone controls, which came over here, but from what I remember, and I know that this should still be a plug and play for the clock spring that is beyond here. So, and if you don't have the clock spring, you can always swap it over and get the S or XRS one that'll work for the steering wheel controls. So this just has a piggyback for both controls that'll plug straight into the existing one. So what I'm gonna do, we're gonna disconnect the battery, and then we're gonna pull off the airbags so that way we can get to the steering wheel controls, as well as to get behind here and change the wiper stalk as well. So let's disconnect the battery and let's pull this off. All right, so if you've never pulled the steering wheel or the airbag on your car, all the battery's disconnected, so horn's not working. There's going to be a cover on one side here, and then one where the cruise control is, and behind there you'll see a Torx 30, and you're going to want to loosen that so the screw will not come all the way out. It's a captive screw, so you won't have to do anything. Just loosen it and then it'll come right out. Then when you get those screws untied, you should be able to lift the airbag off. And then there's going to be two airbags. There's going to be two airbag clips that you're going to clip off. Just use like a flathead screwdriver. And then they pull straight out. So once you get these yellow clips off, you should be able to pull up on the, and then there's a ground cable for the horn. And then your airbag is off. Once you have the airbag off, there is two Phillips screws and then a few clips that you're going to need to take off. So I'm just going to verify a few things first to make sure these are going to fit. These were just some random ones I bought off of eBay, so hopefully they will work, and then we can continue on with this video. And if they don't work, then obviously you won't see this video. So I was looking at these. Everything seems like it will plug in. The plug that comes off of these right here is the same plug that is coming off of here. So, but there's an additional plug right here that I'm not sure what this goes to. So I don't know if I'm missing something or what, but because the cruise control plugs into itself over here, it has its own separate little harness. And then this controls the one steering wheel. So I'm not sure what this one is actually for, but I'm gonna keep it unplugged because there's nothing to it. So, and hopefully when I plug this in, it still will work. We will find out. My goal is to just make sure everything looks good, and at least make sure my volume and everything works good. But if I can get these buttons to also work on the other side of the steering wheel, that'll just be a added bonus. So because right now, having the carbon fiber steering wheel and these silver pieces, it just does not look that good. So that's why I wanted to go to the carbon fiber. So now we're just going to take off these two pieces with just the Phillips screws, and it's that easy to take them off. So we'll do the other one. All right, and that's out. All right, so, well, they fit nice. They actually look really good. I don't know what you guys think, but they look good. The carbon fiber weave from one to the other. These aren't as glossy, but it is a very, very close. It's like the same pattern, but you can obviously tell this is just like a fake print versus this is actual real. This is actually real carbon fiber weave. So, but it looks a lot better than the gray, and it just blends into the steering wheel a lot better. So then, as I was saying, this will plug in right here. We have the one for the horn, and then there's this extra plug that I'm not sure what it goes to. I don't see the need for it, unless it's for a different type of clock spring. Because it's weird, is I think this has a clip that it goes into, so I'm not sure. I mean, everything fits in here fine, so we'll just have to plug everything back in. I'm gonna put my screws in. Hopefully this will fit onto the, because it looks slightly smaller than the one that came off. But yeah, I'm gonna put everything back together, screw this on, and then put the airbag on. But guys, comment down below, would you put these carbon fiber ones on your car? Because I think they look really good. I think I only paid like 25-30 bucks. And it's a nice way to add some nice carbon fiber look to your car. Or do you think I should have went with a different color or a different style? Alright, so as I figured this was not big enough, I'm going to try to widen this open just a little bit, and hopefully that'll fix my issue. Because it almost wants to fit onto the little part, but like I said, as I was looking at it, it almost looked a little smaller. So I don't know if you guys can see the difference, but it is smaller on the new one. So I'm gonna try to open it up, and hopefully it'll slide over. Like I said, it almost wants to slide over, so, and it's not a critical point, it's just for the horn, but I do want to make sure I get a good critical connection. Alright guys, so I got the airbag clip on there, and it literally just took, I just took a little screwdriver, a little flathead screwdriver, and I just kind of shoved it in there and just kind of twisted it and pried it open, and that's all it needed. So it was just crimped a little bit too tight. So now that I got everything all connected, airbag fits back on there. I'm gonna connect the battery, turn on the radio, and then see what steering wheel controls work and don't work. So like again, I'm just hoping to get at least these to work again, because I love my steering wheel controls. But if I can also get these to work on this side, this is a added bonus. But sooner or later, if these don't work, I would like to figure out what that cable is for, and I bet you it's probably for this. So, but let's plug everything in and then take a look. The volume up, volume down work. The next track is working. Mode's not doing anything, but I think that might just be a steering wheel learning thing. No. These buttons aren't doing anything at this second. But again, usually if there is an issue like that, there's a steering wheel control setting that you can learn, steering wheel controls and stuff like that. So it's going to say press and hold the button on the steering wheel to learn. Alright, so, well, first off, when I press the button, it instantly recognizes it. So I think everything is working fine. Oh, I got to learn the steering wheel controls, so I'm going to, I don't even know what to link these to. So, well, one is a phone button, so I'm going to hold the phone, then answer. The other one's hold the phone, cancel, display. So when I press the display button, it doesn't do anything. So I'm going to assume this is not connected to the radio at all, and that might be that extra plug. And then the voice one is working as well. So volume's working. Forward and back is working fine. My mode button, I programmed that to pause the music, so when I hit pause play, that is working. This voice button I have to activate Siri. Okay, so I think I did that wrong. So I pulled up Bluetooth, so let me go fix this real quick. Oh. Steering wheel controls. I want, okay, so alright, so I had it wrong. It should be Bluetooth microphone. So now we're gonna go here. We'll go back. So now when I hit this button, yep, so Siri works. What time is it?
It's 3:53 p.m.
Alright, so that is working. Alright, so it also looks like the phone controls are working too. So everything seems to work except for this display button, which I would imagine the display button is for other models. I think European models and stuff have a different digital dash, which probably will change to this, versus ours is right here on the actual thing, so you can change the temperature, mileage, and all the other good stuff. So, but that's awesome that I got steering wheel controls. So if you're trying to do this to your car, super simple. I mean, it literally was about a 15-minute install, more troubleshooting than anything, but worth the 20-30 bucks. I definitely say so. Get a little bit more functionality and works perfectly fine. But again, this will obviously be determined on if you have an aftermarket radio, because the stock radio, I don't know how it'll input. You would probably have to have the XRS model radio for any of these other controls to work. But if you're trying to upgrade it just to make it look better and have carbon fiber accents or whatever, this is a good way to do it. I'll put the link down below for these. But with that being said, let's hop on to this and let's change our wiper stock so we can have extra refined settings for our wipers. Alright, and one other thing too, when you're doing this, I believe you can do all this without taking the steering wheel off. It would probably just be easier if you do, but I'm just going to take a pry tool and just pry underneath here, and it should separate the two plastic pieces from the top and the bottom. And then once you do that, then you should be able to get access to where this plug is for here. And then we'll convert this over and give ourselves a Alright guys, so I forgot that there's some hidden clips behind the steering wheel. So I'd recommend you just, you don't have to turn your car on all the way, but just enough that way you can twist it, and there will be these two holes that you just got to push a little clip, just a little pin through, so that way you can release it from the top, and then this will fall right down. And once you do that, you should be able to get full access to your wiper stock, which you can see your plugs are right here. And what I'm going to do too, before I get any farther, I'm just going to try make sure everything works. So the wipers are working. Alright, and the intermittent function is working. So you can go to moderately fast to very, very slow. So everything is working, now that we know. Oh, and by the way, I never mentioned this. This is from I believe it's like a 2010 to 2012 Camry, or something around that line. I think a lot of pretty much every Toyota, this is the part number. So if you are curious, 181280 is the part number, and this came from a something Camry. I just ordered this off of eBay. It was like 35 bucks. It was a used one, so, but everything is working fine. So now we just got to figure out how to take the old one out and put the new one in. It looks like it's snapped into place. I was trying to actually figure out how this came out, and there's actually I guess a little pry clip right where my finger is. And you want to pry that up, and then this should pull out. So I'm just going to use a screwdriver and pry on that. Alright, so I got it out. That's actually a lot harder to get out than I was expecting, but there's a clip here that has to get pushed down, and then this has to kind of lift up. So if you just kind of push down and then pull, it pretty much will like eject itself out of there. So now there's that one, and now this should slide right in, which it does, and then we'll plug it up. Alright, and that's that. So now let's button everything back up. I'm gonna clean this really good. This was super dusty, so I'm gonna give this a wipe down, and then we can put everything back on, twist the steering wheel, and we'll be perfect and ready to put everything back together. I got it all back together. Everything looks good. This cover around the steering wheel is definitely a pain. You do have to make sure things get lined up right at the front, and I actually found it better to snap in the top piece first and then put the bottom piece on and focus on the front side of everything first. Focus on the 2 points where they connect at the beginning, and then once those get flush and they're snapped in, then you can push the rest of the steering wheel in there. So now I gotta button everything else up. I took this panel off thinking I needed to, but you do not need to, so don't waste your time. You just gotta make sure you twist your steering wheel and poke out those things to be able to drop out the bottom one. So let's put everything back together and then turn on the car and make sure everything else is working perfectly fine. Alright, so I just got everything buttoned up, and I have to say these carbon fiber steering wheel controls look amazing, and everything just looks so cohesive now, and the silver colors just look so kind of out of place on the whole steering wheel. Now the only thing that kind of stands out is the actual emblem itself. I don't really know what I can do with that. I know they make covers and stuff like that, but I also hear that they're very unsafe to put on your airbag, obviously, because it's pretty much just will act as a projectile if your airbags go off. So I don't recommend those. So maybe, I think you might be able to unglue these and put another one on. I don't know. Let me know down below if you think that I should do something like that. But I will put a link to everything I did below. But this is such a great upgrade, I would recommend it. But with all that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys are new, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys next time.